shut. Angela Levin cuts Harry and Meghan down to size after patronising attitude triggering anger. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have been mocked after the Duke said he and his wife were brought together for a reason at an award ceremony in Hollywood over the weekend. Harry's comments, in particular, came under fire from royal commentator and biographer Angela Levin. Ms. Levin, who wrote Harry, Conversations with the Prince, claims that the Duke and Duchess were incredibly patronising during their appearance. She claims this is because they called on world leaders to take action during the Russia-Ukraine crisis rather than opting for what she claims is a more appropriate approach to the situation. On Twitter, Ms. Levin wrote, "Who knows, H&M might have been brought together for a reason, but it isn't to tell leaders round the world to take action to help Ukraine. Incredibly patronising, assuming they know better, etc. William and Kate just said they supported Ukraine. Much more appropriate." Kate and Prince William issued a heartfelt message showing compassion to Ukraine on Saturday, which marked the third day of attacks by Russian forces across the Eastern European country. Meanwhile, a body language expert noticed Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are very tactile with one another, and while they toned it down on Saturday night, there were still subtle physical clues. Body language expert Inbal watched the speech and said, "Meghan and Harry stepped out at the NAACP Awards over the weekend, where they were honored with the esteemed President's Award." Eagle-eyed viewers were quick to notice that the normally tactile couple weren't holding hands as usual, choosing instead to walk in the more traditional way of her right hand gripping his left arm, and then standing slightly away from each other while giving their acceptance speech, Meghan slightly further forward than Harry. To frame the entire occasion, this appearance would have been rehearsed by the couple beforehand, their standing positions determined by a production crew and a director, to allow for ease of reading out their joint statement, arranging appealing camera angles to create a pleasant TV viewing experience, and to best display Meghan's beautiful dress. Their moves would have been choreographed and their words edited by many other players in the ceremony. This explains why the usually affable Sussexes look a little stiff and unnatural as they come onto the stage, and while standing together, she added. To add a bit emotional context to the proceedings, this awards ceremony is held specifically in aid of social justice activism, and especially to help eradicate discrimination against people of color. In this context, Harry, who was born into the highest of privilege, can be forgiven for feeling like a fish out of palace. They hit all their marks and read all their words exactly as the script requires, but they leave us plenty of clues about how they feel. Inbal explained, as they approach NAACP President Derek Johnson, who hands Meghan the award, Harry gestures for Meghan to step ahead, and their hands reach for one another, although not quite touching. It is a comforting gesture of love. Then, Meghan hands Harry the statuette, and her hand goes towards him again, a comforting butterfly-like touch on his arm, very subtly signaling to him where to take his spot. Their intimacy is evident, even when it's not flaunted, in how natural they find it, to give and receive subtle, nearly imperceptible physical clues from one another. The expert continued, while Meghan speaks, Harry's eyes dart around. He is clearly uncomfortable there, on a stage where great social activists stood before him. He rapidly blinks in royal. His facial nervous clues make it seem like imposter syndrome is hitting. He may be asking himself whether he belongs on that stage at all. As he reads his speech, however, his face is calm and engaged, his voice deep and sincere, and his eyebrows dart up, emphasizing how truthfully committed he is to the causes which he is there to champion. Every time Meghan and Harry catch each other's eye, they smile broadly, showing their many fans that the marriage is still strong, their love is still alive, and all is well in their family, Inbal commented.